enters its 8th edition this year with additional features just as it gets better and bigger. Established as a vibrant showcase and support system for the vast array of contemporary art originating from Africa and its diaspora, ArtX Lagos is a melting pot for artists, art collectors, art lovers, curators, and everyone who has something to do with the creative world of art. This year's edition comes with the introduction of ArtX Cinema for audio-visual screening of materials showcasing artists and their works. The organizers say the inclusion of cinema area to this year's edition takes inspiration from Senegalese filmmaker Ousmane Sembène's conviction that the big screen is the people's night school that touch a wider audience. The 2023 edition of the ArtX Lagos is themed The Dialogue to explore ideas and prompts to elicit reflection, conversation, discussion and negotiation. Dukini Peterside Schwebig founded ArtX Lagos in 2016. She says, "I believe in art as a compass for the future has kept ArtX Lagos going."
It's interesting. You say Nigerians are not easily given to visual art, but look around you. Look at the hundreds of people. Look at the thousands of people that are here to experience art, to experience culture and creativity. Nigerians are given to art, but art has to be presented to Nigerians in a way that is as dynamic and as energetic as we are. And that is what ArtX Lagos does. That is how we are different. That is why we have been successful. And that is why we continue to grow from strength to strength year after year and have been able to do 8 editions thus far. What motivates me is my belief in Nigerians, my belief in Africans, my belief in the power of art to teach us so much about ourselves, so much about our history, so much about who we are, and to help us interrogate and determine together where we wish to go.
Well, I think it's getting better and better. I think we're basically pulling out some of the greatest talents in the continent, and through the prize, the gold prize, which we basically sponsor, we're getting young talented artists and we're getting them to be the very best they can be. But I think this year what you'll notice is that we've had more people come from outside Nigeria to the ArtX, which is something we're extremely proud of. It is all about making sure that all of us as Africans come out with a loud voice for the world to appreciate us for the great gifts and talents that we have.
This year's ArtX Lagos provides attendees with a treat of great artistic expressions from the gallery of the legendary Bruce Onobrakpeya, Dennis Osadebe, SMO Contemporary Art, Afri Art Gallery, Alexis Galleries, Wunikan Mokan Gallery, Nike Art Gallery, and Uthman Wahab from the Oda Art Gallery, among others.
You walk into this fair first, you are struck by a space we call the amphitheater. We have built a theater at the heart of the fair that will house a cinema program that will showcase films from artists all across Africa and the diaspora. And this year's fair, we're doing this because our narrative is around the dialogue. We want to strike a dialogue in the hearts and minds of people, to get people who have been at the fair or are leaving the fair to start to think about what we can do for our community, how we can build together the society that we say we desire. So on the left wing of the fair, you have so many special projects from artists, from different organizations. How do we strike within us the desire for dialogue? Dialogue that is constructive, dialogue that will lead to a solution-oriented approach for the challenges and the season and the situation in which we find ourselves.
Look at so many people here enjoying creativity. That is the seed that was sown that is now bearing fruit. Art as something that takes us higher, that gives us joy in living, that gives us a lot of things that make life easier and helps us to tell our own story. It's very, very important. You tell your story, you tell it in the way that it touches your heart and you want people to understand it. So that is what art is doing.
I think it's a good opportunity for any gallery that's currently in Lagos to showcase at ArtX. I mean, it's our home state, It's our home space, and we are a gallery that's been in operation for about 3 years, and it's our first time actually at ArtX, so it's always very good to show our brand at such an international fair.
I think I've seen a lot of modernist Nigerian art. I've seen a lot of new artists on the block, artists from around the continent, and it's quite interesting to see different styles, different techniques. You know, I was coming in and I saw an exploration using car parts. I'm seeing a lot of, using indigenous materials. There's a piece of work that has nails on it, on this piece of wood. So I'm really excited to see, I mean, apart from the natural, what we see as traditional art, oil on canvas, watercolor, I'm beginning to see indigenous use of materials, that you would not see. So I think that what's beginning to happen is that artists are beginning to explore a little bit more, and it tells you about how a lot of young Nigerian artists are growing, even practicing ones and ones that are coming up. It says a lot about the art scene. It says a lot about how we are pretty much tapping into what we have as opposed to always borrowing with what the West has. So it's a lot of exploration, it's a lot of indigenous exploration, if I might add. So yeah, it's really good to see the works on display.
ArtX Lagos 2023, which opened on Wednesday, will draw to a close on Sunday with an array of interesting creative programs, including ArtX Cinema, the Public Open Day, ArtX Talks featuring Bruce Onobrakweya, Ibrahim Mahama, Femi Lijado, and other creatives. Oba Adeoye, Rice News, Lagos.